There is a moment before the first click, before the first dig, before the first plant takes root, when all is still, when the game is loaded, but your hands have not yet moved, and in that stillness something stirs, something soft and small like a whisper from the soil itself, calling you into its quiet world, a world not of noise or chaos, but of patience, rhythm, and growth. This is Grow a Garden, not just a game, but a space where what you put in echoes back in leaves and petals and silent rewards that grow slowly but surely. This is not a place of quick wins or flashy victories. It is a space of tending, watching, learning, and growing with every decision, every patch of soil, every drop of water, and every seed you choose. So, before we speak of types, before we walk through the soil and explain the plants, before we even think about ranking or rewards, let us begin with the feeling of it, the pulse that runs beneath the pixelated earth, the truth that each seed carries not just a plant but a path, and it is your hands, your timing, your care that brings it to life. Welcome to the garden where every seed tells a story, each sprout holds a promise, and every harvest echoes your choice. It begins in silence, in the moment you first spawn into. Grow a garden when the world opens out around your avatar, the earth unmoved, the tools raw, and the seeds sparse, waiting for you to discover their magic in your own way. You stand in your small plot, unsure at first, your tool in hand, no glow to guide. You know fireworks to cheer you on, only the rich earth and the seed inventory barely touched. You scroll through them, slowly unsure of which one to choose, each seed seeming similar, but somehow feeling different, as if they are waiting for you to ask the right question. So you choose one, a simple seed, a quiet one, and you plant it without much thought, not yet knowing what it will become. And as you water it, a rhythm begins, not in the game, but in you, a rhythm of patience, of checking back, not to force something to happen, but to witness what will. That first seed becomes your teacher. You learn how it grows, when it leans toward the light, when it droops, when it thrives. You watch as its leaves change color, as its shape expands, as it becomes something more than just what you planted. It becomes familiar, it becomes yours, and as it grows you wonder about the others, about the seeds still sitting untouched, waiting to be chosen, to be brought to life. And so you begin to try them, not to compare, but to understand each one, to see what it teaches you, how it responds to water, to time, to presence. Some seeds surprise you, they grow fast and full, their color vivid, their return steady. They seem eager to bloom, to please, to fill your garden with confidence and speed. And yet you begin to sense that they are not always the most meaningful. Other seeds take longer, they sprout slowly, stubborn, even they challenge you to wait, to believe in them despite the lack of early results. And when they finally grow, they do so in a way that feels earned, not given. Their roots run deeper, their presence stays longer, and you begin to value that too. You learn that each seed type is a voice, a personality, a way of being. In the garden, there are seeds that shine in the beginning and fade, and there are seeds that begin in shadow and end in bloom. There are seeds that want sunlight, and seeds that ask for patience, seeds that love attention, and others that flourish quietly when left alone. You walk your rows differently now, no longer focused only on the yield, but on the relationship, the dance between gardener and seed, the unseen dialogue that happens every time you water, every time you pause to notice how the leaf curls or the stem sways in the wind. You stop asking which seed is best and start asking which seed is right for the moment, for your pace, for the space you are in right now. You plant with intention, not just strategy, and the garden begins to respond, not faster but deeper, fuller, truer. You begin to notice which seeds return, not just in harvest, but in joy, which ones teach you to slow down, which ones remind you to check in, and which ones bring delight when you least expect it. You begin to understand that this garden, like all gardens, is not built on what you take, but what you give. So you keep planting, not just for profit or progression, but for learning, for beauty, for the quiet pride that comes when you see a patch you planted weeks ago now bursting with life. A life that came not from currency or shortcuts, but from your presence, from your choice. You share these insights with others, not as a list or ranking, but as a journey. You tell them to listen to the seeds, to watch how they respond, to learn their rhythm before trying to control it, and most importantly, to grow with them, not pass them in. Grow a garden. Each seed type is not just a mechanic, it is a mirror showing you who you are as a player, as a caretaker, and is someone learning to move at. The speed of growth: you pick up your first seed, the one the game gave, without expectation, without instruction, and you plant it not because you know what it will do, but because you want to learn how it will grow with you. Every seed type that waits in the catalog that shimmers behind menus in that hidden world of possibilities is more than just a label. It is a shimmering thread in the tapestry of growth, a whisper from the soil to your hands, saying, choose carefully, tend gently, and you will be rewarded, not just in yield, but in understanding. Some seeds are seedlings of the fast, the sorts that burst into green and bloom quickly under your care. Some are the seeds of patience, slow to open, slow to rise, but steady in their depth and consistency. Worthy of your waiting soul, the first seed teaches you the language of soil, the gentle response, the tilt of leaves, the soft curl of roots anchoring deep and steady. It is the seed of rhythm, of returning again and again before growth shows itself, so that when it does, you feel that inside more than outside. Another seed stands proud as the seed of burst. It grows fast in tall, spreading leaves and grapes and flowers that reflect your effort in real time. It shines in speed and timing, but sometimes such seeds bloom and fade, leaving you wanting something more lasting. Then there is the rare seed, the one you almost overlook because it feels plain, until it grows into something unexpected, something majestic. Its branches twist into shapes that cast patterns on the ground, that whisper of magic. You begin to learn the weight of each seed, not through stats or menus, but through presence, through planting and watching how each seed responds to your rhythm, to the way you water, to the pace you walk through the map. The beginner seeds, the common ones, the ones so often dismissed, become your school, your teachers, because they teach you care, patience, attention. While you wait for something grander to bloom, you learn early that watering patterns affect how seeds respond. Some seem to thrive with gentle daily care, others wake slowly, needing more space between droplets to stretch roots deeper. Your fingers begin to remember not just commands, but conversations. You water one patch, then another, as if offering respect, as if saying, I notice you, I value you, and the soil answers in green and lushness and fruit that swings heavy but true. And so you come to recognize not just seed types in terms of value, but in terms of voice, the one that whispers trust, the one that hums steady growth, the one that sings loud and bright when light and care align. There is the seed of stamina, the one that returns yield after yield, season after season, strong in cycles, inviting you to plant not just once but row after row for a steady source of growth. There is the seed of surprise, the one that hides until the light hits it just right, and then it blooms in color and shapes and textures you did not expect, reminding you that in Grow a Garden seeds hold stories you have yet to read. And there is the seed of legacy, the one that once planted never feels done. The branches twist and bloom, in return rotated and deeper, teaching you that mastery is not finishing, but repeating, improving, deepening your craft. In every cycle you walk your fields at dusk and dawn, you lean closer to each plant to see how the petals catch the light, how the leaves tilt to your presence, and you finally understand that this world is not about rushing seed types. This world is about tuning into their rhythm, discovering which seeds speak to your pace, to your patience, to your style. You share this truth with new players not as a list of tiers, but as a journey of discovery. You tell them, begin with the ordinary seeds, the ones you can grow with your mistakes and your triumphs, because they will teach you more than the rarest sprout ever could. You build your garden not to maximize value quickly, but to create harmony, to match your rhythm to the song of soil and seed, to grow not just harvest, but wisdom, cultivated seed by seed, cycle by cycle. And as the garden grows, not because of speed, but because of understanding, you begin to see that seeds are not just products, they are invitations to play differently, to grow yourself, not just plants to align with the pace that feels most honest to you. Every seed you plant becomes a page in the narrative of your garden. It becomes a memory, a lesson, and a flavor of who you are as a player, as a gardener, as someone learning how to shape something from the simplest beginning. This is not a ranking of profit, it is an exploration of essence, not a strategy, but a story of becoming. And in Grow a Garden, every seed type you choose becomes a chapter in a journey only you can write. So pick wisely, plant thoughtfully, water with presence, walk your rows as a storyteller, not just a harvester, and you will discover which seed makes the most for you, not because it gives more, but because it helps you become more.